Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Memorial Day to all those here in the United States. Let me bring there we go. Get myself in frame a little better. Myself and Mikey, that is. It's weird to be live when there's light outside. Hope everyone is having a good Memorial Day so far. Today we're going to be working on a couple of projects I've had here on the workbench for a little bit. Working towards getting them started to be kind of wrapped up. And, just kind of getting them sort of presentable for this weekend. For those of you who don't know what this weekend is, excuse me, this weekend is the Northeast RPM, or Rail Proto Meet, in Springfield, Massachusetts at the Sheraton Monarch, right in downtown Springfield, which is going to be a lot of fun. But I want to bring a bunch of models for the display tables, and these are going to be a couple of them. So I'm going to try and get at least some primer on excuse me, my model of Amtrak 4316. So we're gonna try and get it to that point where we can prime it today, and then I want to have the stripes done on the other side of my B&CCS Bicentennial unit. Give me just a second here. I need to just check something. I will be right back. I just got a message I need to respond to. Sorry about that, folks. I just needed to respond to that message real quick. But Yeah, agreed, Sam. Hope everyone is having a relaxing day. And actually, let's say hi to everyone here. We got Garrett in here. Hey, Garrett, Iron Horse Productions. Good to see you, my friend. Dennis, good afternoon. Billy from the Riddle Brothers, and of course, Sam. Good to see you guys. Like Sam says, I hope everyone is having a very relaxing day. So, first thing I want to do is I want to keep working on 4316 here. For those of you who haven't caught the last couple of streams or don't know what's going on with Amtrak 4316 or what that is, Amtrak 4316 was an E8 that was the first locomotive ever to receive Amtrak paint. So I've took this Kato E8 and I've been detailing the heck out of it with all sorts of grab irons and lift rings and the proper Nathan M3H horn, and I added, stirrups to the pilot and all sorts of things. And what we're going to be doing today is putting on the grab irons for the rear and middle ladder, and then doing the same on the far side. And then it'll be ready for priming, which is exciting. And it'll be on display at the NERPM, hopefully primed and with maybe some black paint on it. I haven't decided if I'm going to try and get the black paint and the grills on before the RPM or not, but we'll get there. And then once that's done, we're going to, time dependent, we're going to jump over and try and do some more stripe decaling on the B&CCS 765, which is the Bicentennial unit. So, what am I doing here? I've already drilled the holes on this side, so I need to start doing the grabs. For the grabs, I'm using just some, I think it's 32 thou brass wire, I think. I got it for HO scale handrails, but it's also the thinnest wire I have right now, so it will do the trick for N scale grab irons. It's a little chunky, but it does the trick. Okay, so there's that. Tweezers are up here. Grab my tweezers off my rack. I really should move the rack more to right in front of me instead of off to the left there, but that's for another day. Let's see, the hole is there, so I need to grab about here. And bend 90 degrees. Let's see, did I do this right? Oh goodness. I'm working off camera. There we are. Get this light up out of the way. Alright, so I bent the brass wire here. I need my nippers. I'm going to intentionally do it a bit long. That way I have some wiggle room to work in case it's too short. Go there. I got plenty of brass wire, so I'm not worried about running out. Let's see, did I do it right? It looks like I did. Huzzah! Just get this into its hole. Alright, let me pull this back out. Let me straighten it out. And then we can do final installation here. Excuse me. So how's everyone's week been? What's everyone been working on? Hopefully everyone's had a good weekend. In the daylight. Yes, yes, yes. I know, it's shocking. That's much better. All right. Now I'm going to trim off the tail of this brass wire. This project has been a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but it's also been a heck of a tale of scope creep. Because every time I'm like, okay, great, I'm in a good position, I can get ready to prime, and then I realize there's another detail I could add. And so I have to. Just continue with buildings and lighting. Nice. Good stuff, Dennis. That on to... Oh, come on. Get that to sit inside. There we go. Oh, come on. The former throttle I have been working on with friends is real and did control trains. Yes, I did see that. That is a heck of a piece of equipment that you've manufactured there, Garrett. I look forward to seeing continued development. For anyone who doesn't know what Garrett's talking about, him and some friends have been working on a like open source proto throttle equivalent thing with like built on Wi-Fi board and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. And Garrett, please feel free to correct me if I am mistaken on kind of what's involved in it, but that's my memory of what it is, basically. Oh, you son of a gun. Oh, goodness, allergies are getting the best of me right now. Yeah, okay, good. I did remember right, good. Oh, where did that go? Oh, there it is, okay. For a second there, I really thought that I lost it after doing all that shaping work. Which wouldn't have been the end of the world, but it would have been annoying. Trying to get it into drilled out hole that I made. Come on. So close. Mark Ferricane, welcome in. Good afternoon. Happy Memorial Day if you are in the United States. Hope you're having a relaxing afternoon. How do you store scenic T-Track modules? You need to get yours put up for now. So what I use, Sam, I have a... you can kind of see them in the background here. So I have these bins, which I got from Sam's Club. And on Facebook, I found someone had shared a STL file for a little 3D printed insert that fits the... I don't know if you can see them, but there's the ribs on the sides of the box, the tote. This is 28-gallon totes or whatever. And these little 3D printed inserts sit inside there and have a hole for you to put a 1/4-inch PVC pipe in, or 3/4-inch PVC pipe in. And that allows you to stack basically two pairs of singles or a pair of doubles, vertically, so you can fit 4 feet of modules within one of those crates. So I have all 8 of my straight modules, or all 8 feet of my straight modules in 2 bins behind me here. So, Garrett's putting some pics and vids up in the Discord. For anyone who doesn't know about the Discord, get the Discord down in the description below. But it's a little community place that I've been slowly working on, trying to build for the community around my channel here. So, Willow Creek Bread and Spence Too Much, good afternoon. It feels weird saying good afternoon to you guys. But good afternoon, good to see you here. Working on my Amtrak 4316 at the moment. I'm trying to get some ladder grabs done here. Let's see if I can get this into this hole right here. There's the Discord. Thank you, Garrett. 10:30 there. Oh, all right. Well, good morning to you then. Regardless, it is a far. It's not the normal time, which is it's kind of funny. Steve, good afternoon, my friend. Good to see you, or good morning, or good whatever time it is for you. I can't remember whereabouts you are, Steve. I think that's the right distance apart. Let's just do a quick test fit. Toronto, okay, that's right. I can remember. So it is afternoon for you. Yep. I'm so bad at remembering where folks are from. But regardless, it's good to have you here, Steve. Hope you're having a good afternoon. I'm just working on trying to get this ladder grabs done on my Amtrak 4316 model. I need to make sure I work on camera. Okay, so the important thing here is we do have the right distance apart for the grab here, so I can trim the tail. Excuse me. Trim it right there. Ooh, too much. Too much bending. There we go. When I have a break, could I show the inside and how to fit one of those? Sure. Let me get these in and glued in place, and then let me see if I can jerry rig a way to show you the show the camera how I do those. There we go. Okay. There we have them. You've been thinking about making similar ones, Sam. Do these work only for single? So these work for both singles and doubles, Billy. So yeah. Now that I've got those on, let me quickly get these glued in place with some super glue, and then I will. I'll try and figure out a good way to share what those look like. But I use those for singles and for doubles. Oh, shucks. Alright, there we go. Those glued in place. Friend of yours found 3 pieces of Alco history in a backyard. Please do tell. That sounds awesome. Alright, let me go see if I can, let me see what I can do here for folks to see this. Take my car cases off the top of the stack here. Mitch, good to see you, Mitch. Welcome in. This is actually a good one. This one has the same and ups. Alright. Let's see what I can do here. There you go. You can kind of see this here. So, we're going to go in here. There's the double module. And as you can see, it's got, you know, a substantial bit of built up, what's it called? Scenery here. There, you can see, so these are what I was talking about. So these are the 3D printed inserts. Basically just a little wedge that has the little hole for you to insert the pipe. Just like that. You put one on either side, and then they slot right into the little spaces between the ribs. And you can put your second layer on top of that, but underneath that I have my singles, and you can put them on top, the singles above or below. I put them down below, just because they're on the end. So that's just where I happen to put them. But you can very easily take out a couple here. You can very easily put singles on top. Let me slot these back down in. And there you can see, so this one stacks very nicely on top. So you could do 4 singles in here, 2 doubles, a single and a double, etc. So you can see you can kind of see I've got the orchard module down below there, which also has this fairly substantial amount of scenery built in. It basically gives you, I don't know, maybe 5 inches or so, 4 to 5 inches of height per module, including the thing. who makes the inserts. I can't recall off the top of my head. I found them on, I think I found them on the T-Track Facebook group. What I'll do is I'll find the link and share them with you if you're interested, Sam. But basically, it's just a STL file, and then you just got to find a friend who has a 3D printer to get them to print them for you. Three Spikes, welcome in. Good day. Thank you. Have a great Memorial Day yourself. And Brandon, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So you could probably make something out of wood too. Yeah, absolutely. As long as it's something that, you know, fits the dimensions of, and you know, these ones fit the Sam's Club dimensions. I think there are ones out there for like the Home Depot bin dimensions, and because the issue is every different, you know, big box store that makes these kind of bins, they all have slightly different dimensions so that they can, you know, be proprietary or whatever. So if you get the ones with the Sam's Club things, or the ones for the Sam's Club bins, you gotta use the Sam's Club bins, and etc. Let me put these back. Peter, yeah, absolutely. Those pistons, the 251 pistons, that sounds awesome. Especially if they are out of one of the big 628 or 636. Scroll back up. 636. Especially if they're out of the 636, that would be awesome because those things are beautiful, massive beasts. Let me quickly, because I think I actually have. I think I actually do have. I think I have that link fairly handy. Let's see if I can just copy paste it into the chat real quick. Where was it? Oh, it was here. Scroll. Here it is. Okay. Let me copy paste this link. Go to YouTube. Go to my channel. Paste. So that's the link to the Facebook post. I don't know why I said it like that. The Facebook post on the T-Track group. And I believe it's in the comments was the STL link. So enjoy. I know they've worked quite well for me. Having brought my modules to a number of places now. So, in other news, you made a sugar-free peanut butter Oreo no-bake cheesecake today. That sounds fantastic, Sam. That sounds absolutely delicious. And I am extremely jealous that I do not have that. Alright, let's get the other ladder going here. Where did I put my... There. Tweezers. Have yet to try it. It's chilling in the fridge. Dude. Please report back in the Model Train people or on my server or wherever, somewhere. with how that tastes, because that sounds absolutely delicious. Okay, do I need to, did I not widen these drill holes? Did I not widen these? Apparently I didn't widen these. Alright, to the pin vise. Where was these bits? You could, dude, I would not say no if you sent me the recipe. I would probably make it later this week if you sent me the recipe, or maybe not later this week, but I would definitely make it. Widen out these holes. I originally drilled these holes with a very small bit, and then I realized that the wire I had was a little bit bigger than the size I drilled the holes to, so I needed to widen them. And I guess I just never got around to widening these ones. I know I widened these, I know I widened these. Couldn't remember if I widened these. Alright, back to trains here. There we go. Nice and easy. Okay, so I need to bend it right there. Good. And let me trim it. Grab it with tweezers. Oh, said grab it with the tweezers. Let's put into holes. Go. Good. One more on this side, and then we got to do a bit of work before we can get around to actually putting the grabs on the other side. I'm gonna have to trim a lot of these wire tails coming through the inside of the shell to make sure that they don't interact with the frame. Let's see. Excuse me. Right there. Bend it down. Completely off topic, why do woodland scenic tree armatures seem to have random pin sizes at the bottom? That is a fantastic question. I don't know. I really don't. If I had to guess, it would be something with the manufacturing process, with the injection molding. As if these are the trees armatures that I'm talking, if the tree armatures you're talking about are the ones I'm thinking of, and they're the injection molded ones, then that would be my guess, is that it has something to do with how they manufacture them and with the injection molding and stuff. But I don't know. Making a bunch of trees, so just more venting your frustration than anything. Fair enough. The module itself is coming along great, Billy. direction. Nope. You son of a gun. Get back here, you. No. And I'm completely working off camera. There we go. Come on, guys, you gotta yell at me. I widened the wrong hole. Are you kidding me? Nope, I widened the right hole. Never mind. Never mind. All good. Sorry, I know it's going to be a little bit too bright here for you guys, but I just need to see this for a minute. There we go. Okay, beautiful. There we have them. Need to get one of those cameras that auto-follow. Yeah, well, those cameras are expensive. Maybe soon. I've been kind of holding off on sharing this out because I was kind of waiting on it, but I think at this point it's safe to share, which is that I have a job offer full-time. So that'll be, you know, hopefully I'll have a little bit more spending money for the hobby. I got to save most of the money for things like rent and student loans and things like that. But hopefully I'll have a little bit more, you know, on-hand cash that I can spend on the hobby moving forward. So you have most of your cars need custom paint on them. I've not done much work on them. It's been crazy here. Yep, that's fair. All right, let's quickly jump over here. Thank you, everybody. It's very exciting for me. It's been a long time coming, that's for sure. But it feels very good, and it's a great architecture firm that does beautiful work, and it's very exciting. It does unfortunately mean that probably before too much longer here, I will be having another move, which means probably another week or two of no streams at some point in the next couple of months as I make that move and get my space set up and so on and so forth. But that's in the future. I don't have anything firm on that yet. Nothing confirmed, nothing decided upon, nothing even really looked at yet. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just carefully shaving off the molded on grabs for anyone who's confused as to what's going on here. What kind of buildings do they work on? They work on high-end residential stuff, which is exactly what I was hoping to do. They're down in southern Connecticut, down on the Connecticut shoreline. So it'll be good. You're getting a new job too. Your boss is forcing you to transfer companies or you won't have a job, and it's at a time where you can't start looking for a new job. Yeesh. Well, wishing you best of luck, man. That sounds like a hell of a situation. And recipe set, thank you. I look forward to looking through that. Shoveling poop ain't nothing to be ashamed of. True that. True that, Phyllis. Okay. Next grabs. And I'm doing it again. There we go. Been working crazy hours the last few weeks. Too many toys to pay for. Yeah. Yep. That's good enough for that one. What are all these messages? Oh, that's fine. Sorry, just need to. Family's doing a barbecue later, and we're just trying to get all of the details squared away. Okay. There we go. Square it away. Someone say barbecue. You're on your way. All right, we'll see you at 4 o'clock then, Garrett. I hope you packed your booster pack on your car. Oh boy. One's good. Just leaves the 2 by the front of the unit to go. Be careful to not remove all of the rivet lines. press angle. So anyone else in the chat coming to the Northeast RPM this weekend in Springfield, Mass? I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there both Friday and Saturday. So what did this E-unit do to you that I needed to repaint it? Well, Billy, what it did was taunt me with the knowledge that it could be an accurate Amtrak 4316. Dennis, what did I use for the steam generator details at the back of the locomotive? Styrene rod. I used 3mm styrene rod. That's literally it. The base of the intakes are the 3mm rod, just stock. I chalked them into my Dremel tool, and using a file and an X-Acto blade, I turned them down to, it's like 2.7 mil roughly. Excuse me, for the top half of the intake. And the I did very similar for the exhausts. I chalked the 3mm rod into my Dremel tool. I filed a nice smooth kind of curve around the lip, and then I just hollowed it out using I think it was a 2.4mm, 2.3mm bit, something like that. So that was it, and it just took me, some it's probably a little bit overscale. It's probably would have been better to do with like 2.5 mil or 2 mil rod, but it's close enough that I'm happy with it. So Garrett says no, he can't make it to the RPM. Billy wishes he could, just a little too far for the day. Understandable. Very understandable there. I gotta sit down and figure out what clinics I'm going to for the RPM. I'm gonna look at the clinic list and make myself a clinic schedule of what I want to visit and what I want to see. Make my own parts to the level of craftsmanship that's not seen not seen too much anymore is the gist of what you're saying. And yeah, it's something where if I knew that parts existed, which maybe they do somewhere out there, I would consider buying them, but it's not a complex piece of detail. It's just a kind of dual diameter rod and then a funnel with the hole down the middle. I figured that's stuff I can make. This model is a combination of stock detail parts, things like the BLMA Ultimate F/E unit detail set, which I'm using for all of the nose grabs and all of that. Nose grabs, roof grabs, etc. And the Plano models grills, far style grills, which I'm using, which I'm going to be using to replace the stock grills. these right here, which look fantastic. And then things like, you know, I made the plugs for the porthole windows. I added the, you know, just using brass wire, I'm adding all of these other grabs. I had the accurate M3H 3 forward bell horn 3D printed and mounted that on a bit of brass wire for that. Obviously, like we already talked about, I made the steam generator details, and even things like back to my bin of parts for this project here. Where is it? There it is. I went in and using just a little piece of styrene, I made a, see if I can get it close enough to the camera that the camera will actually see it. But I made a dual beam headlight splitter for the headlight, because actual Amtrak 4316 had a vertical stack dual beam headlight set up. See if I can. You can kind of see it. But I, you know, just took a little, I think it's like 1 thou styrene, you know, turned it down to a circle, carefully shaving and sanding and so on, rounding it out, and then painted it silver, drilled a couple of small, you know, I think it was like 0.2 mil, 0.3 mil holes for the headlight to come through, and that's the dual beam headlight. I'll be installing that within the headlight housing after paint and decaling is done. All right. How much more shaving do I have to do over here? Not that much. Getting pretty close. By the way, I blame all of my fascinating with super detailing 100% on Paul Stamp. I blame him. He got me into this whole thing. I mean, partially I blame it on going to the NERPM and the Rochester RPM and so on and seeing all the fantastic detailed models, but I blame Paul, because Paul got me excited about doing all this with the SD40-2 project last year, and so it's his fault. And now I have the SD40-2 super detailed. I have my GP40-2 super detailed with, you know, like a lower headlight mount housing for the headlight, and then I've converted the upper light to a Mars light, and you know, I put all the grab irons and you know, replaced everything with etched metal fans and put all the, yeah, just all the detail. And now I'm losing my mind on this. In this hobby, we never take responsibility for extra purchases. You got that right, Sam. All right, let's drill these holes and get these grabs installed so we can at least get some stripes onto 765. One hole drilled. Two holes drilled. Okay. Next, here. It's wandering a little bit. let's get a let's get a smaller bit here that I can use as a pilot. What is this one? Paul's entire server's making me want to do way more detailing than I have time for. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Absolutely, Jeffrey. Welcome in, by the way. Good to see you, my friend. Go. Here, you just scrolled while this locomotive works. You may have to place an order. Oh boy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Done, 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 done. Where's that block of wood that I was using as a support? Where am I? Here I am. Yeah, Garrett really has been the worst offender. Okay, that just leaves the ones for the cab. Good, think of how pretty your models can be. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Going to train shows with anyone in that server is a dangerous game. The most dangerous game is actually just the story of going to a train show with you. Yeah. Pretty much. Okay, 2 more holes to drill. There. Okay, and right. Perfect. All 12 holes drilled. Let's put away these drill bits before I freaking break them. Oh, absolutely. I wish he would do more in N scale, Garrett, because then I would actually have incentive to purchase things from him. And I know you wouldn't, because you're not as insane as I am. You're doing all your detail work in HO. Oh, speaking of, I almost forgot, Garrett. I have a box here to open up. I very nearly forgot about this. I'm glad I didn't. Let me quickly block out all of the important information so I don't doom it. Dox anyone. Your hand's shaking. Your fingers are thick. And whatever you say. I'm just screwing with you, man. Okay, that's all. I think I got everything. I don't see anything that's... Let's get this out of the way here. Let's zoom the camera way out so we can actually see this box. Here, go here, zoom way back. This is a box from one Garrett Lester. Carefully open it up, as this will be another project for the workbench over the next couple of weeks, few weeks. You do still like N-scale a lot. You do think it could be fun to super detail something. Absolutely, it is really fun, but it's 100%. 100% is it's tough to do when you got shaky hands. All right, we got bubble wrap, Paul's favorite, and then we have what's actually important inside the box, which is a Tangent International B&O I-18 bay window caboose, which is actually not an I-18 bay window caboose anymore because it is, well, it is still an I-18 caboose, but it is now not B&O anymore. It is now Finger Lakes 203. There's the edge of the tape. Let's open this up so I can show off Garrett's lovely work that I will be dirtying. Just like Finger Lakes 201 and 202 are, I will be weathering another Finger Lakes Railways caboose for Garrett. Just carefully lift this up. Ta-da! These are the grills, which I'll also be lightly weathering for him, but I told him to leave them off for now. So carefully open this up. Good afternoon, Sean. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you're having a relaxing afternoon. Let's carefully take this all out so we can show off Garrett's lovely work. Hey, Haley, welcome in. Good afternoon. So here is the next Finger Lakes Railways caboose that I will be weathering down. And I gotta be careful around the car ends, I know, because he's done a lot of custom detailing in there. But here we have it. Finger Lakes 203. So this will be a fun project to get working on over the next few weeks. So I can get it back to Garrett and he can add it to his ever-growing caboose roster. Let's see, is that the right? Okay, it doesn't matter because it's got that. So let's put this back away and get back to work on the end scale. The end sanity. But Garrett, it has arrived safely and soundly, and we'll be getting dirty soon. Let's get this carefully put back away so I don't screw it up. And while I'm thinking about it, let me put this in the box for you, Garrett. uncoupling lever from 201 or 202 are that never made its way back upstate. There we go. All right. Looking forward to working on this for you, Garrett. It's gonna be fun. Okay. Back to work. Which means I need to go and zoom back in. There we go. Let's bring the camera back down to be roughly centered. Alright, let's get 4 more grab irons on here, and then we're going to jump to trying to get one, maybe 2 layers of striping done on B&CCS 765. Where did my brass wire go? Where did it get put? Oh, right in front of me. All right. All right. Let's do the rear first. Oh, I realized I never actually glued the other side on. So let me quickly put a dot of super glue right there. There we go. Okay. And then I'll trim everything once it's done. Now, I'll take this, give it a good 90-degree bend. I'll put it into the top hole here. Right there. Perfect. We'll trim it right here. Careful to hold everything, that way things don't go flying off. It's a mistake I've made a number of times. Come on. Ooh, it's right there. Sorry, I'm gonna pick it up and move it out of frame here for a second. I need to bring it right up close to my face to align this pin with the hole. It's right there. Come on. And I dropped it. Oh, it's right there on my jeans. Fantastic. The hobby ain't fun unless you have parts zinging across the shop. You got that right, Dennis. We got it. Hold on. Just get it to seat. There we go. Clean up the edge here so it's a nice vertical. There we go. Beautiful. Perfect. Hey, Banu, welcome, welcome, welcome. No worries. I've just been making brass handrails for the last hour, so it's not like you've missed much. This is my Amtrak 4316. And I've been making the ladder grabs here. Working my way around the unit. And I'm completely off camera. That is my Amtrak 4316. Goodness gracious. Okay, let's get this into... Come on. There we go. Hope you had a nice nap, Bonnet. Go. Okay, great. Where'd my X-Acto go? Oh, there it is. Just try and get under here. Straighten it out. There we go. Okay, there's two more, and then 4316 will be done for the day, and well, at least for now, until I prime it out off stream. So now, and then we will jump over to doing the stripe decals for the Bicentennial locomotive. Good. Bend it right there, should work. I'm getting pretty good at this. I'm getting pretty good at this. Go. Get that seated. Perfect. One more grab. 90 degrees. Insert it there. And all is right. there. Okay. Pull it back out. 90 degrees. And we will trim the tail. Trim. And then we'll install this. Get it all glued in place. Trim the inside. And as far as I can think, 4316 will be ready for primer. Still far from complete. But we'll have made some significant progress. Alright. Rather than just using this, I'm going to do this the smart way, which is use my actual glue applicator tool to apply the super glue here, the CA. It's just a little insert for your X-Acto handle. It's called the glue looper. I picked it up at Amherst, I think back in 2020. But it does its job very well at just making precise little glue applications. There, and right there. And then let me just quickly put some dots over here, and just so I make sure I've hit them all. Okay, good. Let's clean that off real quick. Where's my lighter? There it is. Good and clean. Okay, let's put that away. Put the blade back on the exact. What? How does my X-Acto blade get CA'd to the... Where did that dot of glue even come from? I don't even know. All right. Let's trim off the insides of all of these wire grabs we just made, because if you look on the inside, you can see where they stick out. Right there, you can see. And at the back and everything. Joey! Good to see you, Joey. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a relaxful afternoon this Memorial Day. I'm just working on my Amtrak 4316 here, just wrapping up working on it actually, and then we're going to work on the B&CCS's Bicentennial unit, which both feel fairly on brand for the day. There we go. So here's where Amtrak 4316 stands. As of this point, we've removed the dynamic brake, we've got the accurate M3H air horn, all of the nose grabs and everything. We're missing, I think, 4 grabs in here, which I'll install after the decaling is done. And I'm realizing I need to shave off these molded on grabs on either side of the door. So I'm going to have to shave those off, because those will also be done after decaling is done, since those go on top of the decals, basically. Otherwise, all of the detailing is added minus windshield wipers once paint and everything is done. Yesterday I added the housing for the reverse light, and I rounded out the window from the rear door. It was square on the model to begin with, and 4316 had a round one. So I rounded that out with a file. We got all the grabs added to the side doors minus the front doors, because again, it'll go through the decal, or on top of the decal. Nose lugs will be added, Dennis, don't worry. Nose lugs will be added, but because those sit on top of the front blue striping, those will be added after decaling is done. Let me quickly pull up a photo of 4316 for you folks. That way, anyone who's unaware of how it looks gets a good look at it. Do you like it when the factory applies all your details? Oh yeah. Let's see. Display capture on. Transition. There is 4316. So you can see, Dennis, the nose lugs go right on top, or the tops of them go right over top the striping on the nose. So those will have to happen after decaling is done. Same with these grabs here. You know, they're going to happen after decaling is done, because they're sitting on top of the decals. And same with the front grabs, because again, they go over top the decals. They're going to go after. But I've done these grabs. I've done these grabs. The only other thing that I'm debating how much I'm going to do is removing the skirting on the model, because the model has skirting on the fuel tank. Like the fuel tank piece that comes with the model, that sits on the frame, not as part of the shell. So it's a matter of how much can I realistically do to remove the skirting. I can definitely remove the, kind of curls on either side of the tank, but I don't think I'll be able to give the depth that the actual having no skirt would appear to have, unless Kato does sell something separate, which I'll have to look into. But who's making the side grill vents again? So those are Plano models. Give me 1 second. Let me somewhere around here I had those are the other style of vents, which I accidentally got first. I don't know where they went, but those are Plano models, Plano models. I can actually do this. These are the exact ones. Well, these are the HO versions, but so I would have to actually go back to planomodels.com, go to N scale, E and F intake grills. There you go. These are that number 281. There you go. Those are the grills that I'm using for the side grills. So, but all that stuff is happening after detailing or decaling and painting and so on is done. So, let's go ahead and put the 4316 project back in its project bin for now, so I don't break it or screw it up, or lose any parts or anything. Carefully put that off to the side. And now we're going to go back to working on the Bicentennial unit for the B&CCS here. So I've got the stripes done on the one side. Which came out very nice, actually. It took a little bit longer than I was expecting, but not nearly as long as I was fearing to get the striping done. So we're going to try today by roughly 3 o'clock is when I want to try and wrap the stream here. So in the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to try and get the top stripe applied across the long hood. There we go. So I'm just cleaning up some CA off of my applicator tool. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming out, Joey. When I finished painting and we just got here, I was a little worried because it was like, it's not really looking nice. But then I added the stripe decals and it looks really good. The decals are on order. Just waiting for Fusion to print them and send them to me. And then I'll have the numbering, the B&CCS. I added underneath the grills down here, I added 1776 to 1976 for the Bicentennial. And of course, I did also super detail this. So we've got lift rings everywhere. We've got etched metal fans. We've got accurate grills, side grills. The GP40-2 shell that I had the later style grills. This is modeled after my story. Basically has this modeled after the early style Seaport Coastline models, units, which is why we also have the nose mounted headlight, and then the upper light housing is now going to be a Mars light. So I need to finish doing some electronics work on that to make sure all that is isolated and everything and it doesn't bleed through. But I need to get the striping done before anything else here. So we're gonna do the striping, and then hopefully in time for next weekend, or for this weekend's RPM, I'm also gonna add the rest of the pilot details. But so for the stripes, I just wound up using some Microscale Industries 6-inch white stripes. I just got a set of these because I figured it's going to be a lot more consistent than having me try to freaking do it manually. And then as I went on the one side, I measured, so I should have accurate measurements for when I do the other side, which is this side. So I'm going to bring out my caliper. Millimeters, because that just happened to be what it was when I was doing it first. So 16 mil. Actually, no, we'll do the back first, which is 30 mil. $30 in length. So let's bring these here. Mark that out on the sheet. And get to trimming. There we go. Perfect. Sounds good, Sam. Thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you have a good rest of your Memorial Day, and see you around. Dip that into my water, and we'll bring this over here. Joey likes the skirting on the E units. They do look nice, but I want this model to be accurate, so Skirting must come off. Oh yeah, and while I'm waiting for that decal to soak, I should quickly show what I was talking about with the skirting. So on the model, the way it came, you can see the skirting is on this insert piece that sits over the shell, or over the frame. So it's not necessarily part of the shell. And I've kind of trimmed away on this side. Started to trim away. But I'm not going to be able to get the depth along the, right along the sill line that the actual model has. Unless I really start shaving away at things, and I don't know how much I want to do that. Alright, that's good. Freelance it to its better self. Well, if I was going to freelance it to its better self, I probably would have not had the missing MU door, because I freaking put a lot of work into getting that missing MU door to be modeled. It's a hell of a trick doing that. Alright, let's get this decal paper out here. That's not where I want to put it. I'm going to put it over here, my stack of decal paper. Ugh. Come on. Micro saw. Do I want to do the micro saw right now? I'll do just a little bit on the end here to get this broken bit of decal to conform. That'll do for now. No, it won't. I want to get this to sit nice before I keep moving on. I can always touch that up with some flat white paint if I really need to. There we go. All right, moving on. other side is 60. Well, while we're at 30 mil, let's do the center stripe, because the center stripe up top here is also 30 mil. Exacto. There we go. There we go. Let's give that a dunk. Get this out of the way. Excuse me. There we go, beautiful. Let's grab the decal sheet. Let's trim a little nubbins off here to do the vertical stripe. While that's sitting, let's bring this down to 16 mil for the third stripe. Decal rodeo. This ain't my first one there, Spence. Oh, that's right. I also forgot that I got these. I gotta put these away somewhere. These are so I picked these up when I picked up the yeah, that's perfect. I totally forgot that I got these. Picked these up when I got the stripe decals. These are Amtrak Phase 2 stripes. And I got those for, what I want to do is I want to get a third Amtrak F40, or a third F40, or whatever. Doesn't have to be Amtrak, but I'm going to make it Amtrak because I'm going to turn it to a Phase 2. Now I have a Phase 2 F40 and a pair of Phase 3 F40s, which then I can run a Phase 2 F40 with either my SDP40F or with my Phase 3 F40s. So that'll add some nice variety to my train show consists. Oh, perfect. So use the X-Acto to really carefully get everything to be aligned. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now we got to get 16 millimeters for the front stripe, and then we might even be able to start on the bottom stripe. Right there. Amazing how I get them in place like I was saying, it ain't my first decal rodeo. I've been doing decaling now, like precise detailed decaling like this, for like 4 or 5 years now, so I have a lot of practice, really a lot of practice over the last 2 years. Has gotten me to this level of precision. It's taken a lot of practice. But it is super fun to watch it just almost like click into place, you know, almost kind of snap in like that. It's really fun. Oh, I gotta take the cab off. I almost forgot. Gotta get the cab off, that way I can get this decal into place here, right up to the edge of the cab. Put this down right there. Get it off the decal paper. Let's get the decal paper out of here. Go. Perfect. Let's just try and get any excess moisture off here. There we go. Perfect. Ah, shoot. And I went a little too much. Good. Now we're good. Okay. Let's do the bottom row. So we'll jump to 34 millimeters. Where did I put my caliper? Over here. There we go. Tighten that down. Start in a fresh row. Good. Okay, get this dipped into the water. And then once this bottom stripe is done, we'll look at the time, but probably once the bottom stripe is done, we will wrap for the day. Because we'll be at just about two hours, which is the normal stream length. Which I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to fill today. But I'm glad that I was. Oops. There we go. There we go. Add this to pile. Now we'll carefully align this with the edges. There we go. Okay, next up, opposite side, let's see, we got 26 mil for the center stripe. Pardon me. Go. Grab the X-Acto. Trim it right there. Ooh, that was a crappy cut. Cut came off at an angle, but it's not too sharp of an angle. It should be okay. Shouldn't be too bad. Dip that, and then while that's dipping, let's get the next. Other side is 20 mil. Got that prepped. Let's grab this out of the water, get it prepped on the model. Decal paper out of here. Oh shoot, how did I get this so... How did I get this so wrong? Oh, I see what happened. The blue is actually wrong. Uh-oh. Well, that's, we're gonna have to fix that at some point, somehow. Figure that out. How did I manage to do this? Alright, well. We gotta go with the white for now. How did this happen? I see how this happened. Oh my goodness. Okay, well. What this means is we're gonna have to kind of modify on the fly here. So let's try and carefully cut this decal. Should actually be able to repurpose it. That's the vertical stripe here. Your local programmer is sad. It cannot be found even though it is plugged in. Well, that is sad. Why is that like that? That is frustrating and confusing, Garrett. I can only imagine. Alright, so now let's, each time the software runs or tries to, your CPU usage goes from 10 to 70. Ooh, yeah, that's rough. Okay, but that's still 20 mil. Okay, I really don't understand what's happening here with the stripes, but we'll just let it ride. We'll let it ride. Because it seems like it's all gonna work out. I might have just wrote down the wrong number for that dimension. You blame the Windows update your computer forced upon you? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Windows updates generally tend to do bad things, in my experience. So I would blame that as well, yeah. Bring this up here. Excuse me. So, funny story about this scheme that I think Garrett will appreciate, certainly. When I first shared out the completed images of the one side, someone pointed out that it's basically just a New York Central Lightning Stripe scheme, but in red, white, and blue. And I was like, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. And now I kind of can't unsee it. Obviously, it's kind of a squished lightning stripe scheme, but it really kind of is just a lightning stripes. Windows 11 sucks? Yeah, pretty much. Alright. How much time is it? 3:11? Let's get it done. We'll do the dang thing, and then I'll hop off stream. So I need 32 mil. You also recommend making this one decal for my sanity? No. Making this one decal would hurt my sanity, Garrett. I guarantee you that, because I would then have to deal with like half of the unit being just decal film, and I don't like that. And then I would have to deal with trying to poke holes through the decal film and getting it all to settle right. And in my mind, at least, this works a lot better. I appreciate your suggestion, and I understand where it's coming from, but oh my gosh, if this was one big decal, I would not be... I don't think I would be very happy. At least based on my experience with big honking decals in the past. And of course, different from person to person. You know, for you, I'm sure that would work a lot better. But for me, this gives me... Because the other thing is, having this be individual pieces lets me kind of adjust it on the fly, the way I did there. Whereas if that was one big printed decal, I would be screwed. This lets me figure out how I'm going to paint it kind of on the fly, and then modify it on the fly, and then get it to work on the fly. So, this works for me. This works great for me. Yeah, because when I was painting it, I kind of just winged it. Basically, the way once I figured out I was going to be using these decals, I roughly worked it out where, you know, 6 inches in inch scale is roughly a millimeter, plus or minus, you know, a couple of decimal points. And once I figured that out, I said, all right, I can do I can do a line of my 3mm Tamiya tape and a line of my 2mm Tamiya tape, and that's the thickness that I need the red to come down the unit. And then I can use that to offset around, and then that's how I painted it, was literally just doing like that. So I really did kind of do it on the fly. And I would have had to figure out something else if I would have had to like wait for the decal to arrive and then measure the decal, basically. I think would have been the way I would have had to do it otherwise. Which I could have done, but it just gives me a lot more wiggle room. off. There we go. Is this a stupid way for me to have done this? Maybe. But it works, so, you know. If it's stupid and it works, it isn't stupid. That's my motto. Alright, gotta get real careful here now that we're in the in-between. There we go. Okay. Then I need, what's the next dimension? 28, but I'm not sure if I agree with that. Let me measure. Let me actually measure here what the other decal is. Is it 28? It sure isn't. It's at 26. Because I could see it being 26. 26 is what it is. Okay, so I just, somehow I screwed up my numbers. There we go. Alright, let's dunk this guy. And let's get the next measurement, which is 18 millimeters. Got that ready to be marked. Put that right there. Decal paper. That's a little bit long. All right, let me trim just a little hair off of this side. There we go. That should do the trick. Yes. get this little vertical stripe in place. Screwed everything up. Ah! Perfect. Good. All right, that means it should just be this 18mm length, and then theoretically the striping is done, and I can seal the striping on. That way it's ready for... Oh, nope, not quite done, but I'm not going to do that on... I'm not going to do the nose stripe on stream right now, because I need to get going. But I do need to still do the nose stripe. That'll happen maybe tomorrow or something. Good. Dunk the decal. Alright, let's grab this. Plop there. Pull the decal off, and we'll wrap the stream. Good. Get this decal out. I need a little stripe. Yep, that's perfect. Just need to thicken up this vertical here. That way it doesn't look off. Good. Let's get this paper out of here before it screws everything up. It's too late for getting the paper out of here before it screws everything up, but let's see if we can get it out of here before it demolishes everything. There we go. bit. And I think that'll do it. So there we have it. Now I just need a stripe here and a stripe here to wrap it up. And then I'm just waiting on the decals for the rest of the unit. So I'm gonna call it there. I would say that was a successful and productive stream, and I am very excited to show off the rest of what I get done this week. Excuse me. This weekend at the Northeast RPM. If you can make it, come by, say hi, see some models. It's gonna be a great time. I will be going live. I haven't decided which day yet, but one of the days I will be going live from the model room for a quick 20-30 minute stream, just showing off what everyone's up to and showing off all the beautiful model work that is on display. So I hope you all enjoyed the stream today. I hope you all have a lovely, relaxing rest of your Memorial Day if you're in the United States, and the rest of your Monday if you are not. Thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all on the next track.